Hello everybody, my name is Davis and welcome back to the video, and today we are here for another severe weather breakdown. So let's go ahead and get right into it. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We got a slight risk of severe weather, a few hurricanes out in the ocean, and much more. So let's go and get right into it. Starting off with the SPC outlook for today, we have a slight risk of severe weather down here in central Texas that I imagine will be removed by the end of the day. This is kind of leftovers from last night's severe weather event. We had a massive MCS move through here that was honestly kind of unexpected. And then we have a marginal risk here in the western Midwest. So we're going to break both these down. Starting off with the tornado threat for today, very low, no tornadoes expected. Damaging wind threat, we do have a 15% risk of wind gusts of 60 miles an hour or higher, which is driving our slight risk today. This does include Austin, Texas, and San Angelo, Texas, so look out for that. And then we have a 5% risk over here in the western Midwest. This extends all the way out, not quite to McCook and Colby, but all the way back in near Hannibal, Des Moines, and then into bits of northwestern Illinois. Moving on to the hail threat for today, we have a 5% risk of hail of 1 inch or larger down in Texas, and then we have one in the western Midwest as well. The one down in Texas is including Austin and San Antonio, and then the one in the western Midwest, again, kind of in a similar region as the wind threat. So look out for that. Moving on to tomorrow, we already have another marginal risk of severe weather. Tornado threat for tomorrow, very low, no tornadoes expected as of right now, but that could change. Damaging wind threat, we do have a 5% risk of wind gusts of 60 miles an hour or higher, which is what's driving our marginal risk for tomorrow. This extends down into Savannah, almost all the way back up into Virginia Beach, so look out for that. Hail threat for tomorrow, no hail threat currently, but again, we could get one. Going into Monday here, we have no marginal risks as of right now, but we do have a large thunderstorm risk that I imagine we'll get a marginal risk somewhere in this region. The central plains and southern plains really just get hammered by severe weather this time of year, day after day, either down here near Texas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, or somewhere in the central plains like Nebraska, Colorado, Kansas. There's almost a marginal risk or a slight risk every day in these regions. It feels like it's crazy, man. So moving on to the National Hurricane Center, we do have Hurricane Lee, obviously, which is now officially post-tropical cyclone Lee, and it is expected to make landfall today at around 1 or 2 p.m. Currently an 80-mile-per-hour storm, likely to make landfall that way, so it's going to be very high-end tropical storm, which is what I've been predicting for a while now. I've always said high-end tropical storm, low-end hurricane landfall. But yeah, it's going to make landfall somewhere near Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and Maine is going to feel quite a few effects, as well as Vermont, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Connecticut, But really, the main impact is going to be over here in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, but Maine could expect a lot of rainfall, possibly up to 4 inches today, so we're definitely going to see some flash flooding in this region. Then we have Tropical Storm Margot, which is officially not a hurricane anymore. Everything's kind of powering out. They're not hurricanes anymore. But Tropical Storm Margot, it is kind of a fish storm, but it is expected to make somewhat of an impact as maybe a tropical depression over here on some of these tiny islands off the coast of Europe. So look out there, but I doubt anybody watching this lives there. We have Tropical Depression 15. Now, this is the main thing that's changed. Yesterday, this was projected to head towards Bermuda, more towards the United States, and it was expected to be a Cat 3 at one point, but now it's taken a huge turn. It's only supposed to get up to a Category 2, and it's not even supposed to make landfall in the U.S., so we have a major change. Tropical Depression 15, or by the end of the day, most likely Hurricane Nigel will no longer be a threat, or Tropical Storm Nigel, rather. So, yeah, no longer really a threat, but we have to watch to make sure that it doesn't get another sharp turn back to the U.S. So luckily, this disturbance that has been concerning for quite some time now is no longer a threat. We have this disturbance that has a 30% chance to form the next 7 days. We don't know if it's going to form, what it's going to do, where it's going to go, how strong it's going to get, or anything about it yet. So I'm not really going to talk on that. Eastern Pacific here, we have a disturbance that has a 40% chance to form the next 7 days, and then we have Tropical Depression 12E, and if we move over to the Central Pacific, we can see that Tropical Depression 12E is it's not going to be a threat for very long, and it's not really a threat to any land. It's just a fish storm. But this disturbance here, we really need to be watching for this. This has a very similar situation to Tropical Depression 12E, where it might not be that big, but just because of how close it is to Hawaii, it could reach Hawaii as a tropical storm or a tropical depression. But like I said, it only has a 40% chance to form in the next 7 days, so we're really not too sure yet. So don't worry quite yet. Moving on to the path for Lee and Nigel. I'm used to just saying the path for Lee by this point, but Lee and Nigel here. So as we can see, like I said earlier, right now it is a 80-mile-per-hour storm. It has not technically made landfall yet, but we are starting to feel many of the effects from Hurricane Lee, as we have been for a while, honestly. But now we're really getting that thunderstorm, high wave, high wind activity that we've all been waiting for, or maybe you haven't been waiting for it, who knows. It's kind of hard to see exactly where the path goes as of right now, just because of how much craziness is over here, but it is actually expected to kind of make landfall somewhere around the Nova Scotia Maine border. So like eastern Maine, western Nova Scotia, look out. This thing has a direct impact on you. You need to be very weather aware today, because you're going to get some severe storms, high waves, storm surge possibly, rain, heavy winds. I meant to say heavy rain, high winds, but sometimes your English just doesn't work out too well. And then by 3 a.m. Tomorrow, it's looking like we have this reaching Prince Edward Island as a 50-mile-per-hour storm. Okay, so still pretty dangerous in this region here. Then it keeps moving off to the north and the east, hitting more of these Atlantic Canada islands. And then it keeps going north and east, and eventually will stop its life as a, basically as soon as it leaves land, it's gonna die out. 45-mile-per-hour storm. If it went any further, it might have been able to reach, like, Iceland or something, but that's very unlikely as of right now. So yeah, today, big impact for Hurricane Lee. I keep forgetting the excessive rainfall outlook doesn't work anymore for some reason. So, finally, watches, warnings, advisories. We've actually got quite a bit of action today. So, here, we have some red flag warnings up here in northwestern Montana. So, if you're under a red flag warning, don't be burning anything. We've got air quality alerts scattered across the country right now, honestly, mostly in the Plains region, but also into the Midwest a little bit. Some of that Canadian smoke is coming back almost, it looks like. So if you're under a gray box, you're under an air quality alert today, so look out for that. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch still in effect, like I said, kind of from last night's massive MCS event. We got a few severe thunderstorm warnings, a few flash flood warnings, a special weather statement, which is basically a strong thunderstorm warning, as I like to call it. We've got a lot of stuff going on here in Central Texas, so for the rest of the morning and really into the noon hours, you need to be looking out here, because you could see some severe storms. Be monitoring your local weather station. Tropical storm warnings in effect here for portions of Maine, so look out for that. But other than that, not much to talk on there. And that's really it. It looks like there's a lot of crazy action going on, but most of it's just air quality alerts. But still look out for that. That's pretty much it for today. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.